Hi, my name is Frank Santalia, and I will be presenting my final case study for Capstone 2. Today, we'll be evaluating the strengths of AB InBev's compliance program and identifying recommendations for how they can continue to improve it. So, the title of the case is Designing a Compliance Program at AB InBev. The question for the case is, how would you improve AB InBev's compliance program? Now we'll look at the overview of what I will be going through today. We're going through the position statement, followed by the background, followed by the analysis, followed by the action plan. The position statement of AB InBev is AB InBev is evaluating the effectiveness of its compliance program, although it has been recently improved. Martine Della Valle, Global Chief of Compliance, believes that AB InBev can expand on this program to further mitigate risk and avoid violations. They must find ways to overcome challenges related to their size and global nature in order to centralize their program and manage risk uniformly. To discover strengths in areas that need improvement, Della Valle can evaluate how AB InBev's compliance program communicates expectations, prevents people from going against policies, and identifies violations. Brief background of AB InBev is AB InBev was the world's largest brewer with 200,000 employees, and it sells products in more than 100 countries. Before their current compliance program, it was up to the different regional leaders to make decisions. This changed after a violation of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act by a joint venture in India after officials were bribed and accounting records were impacted. Due to this violation, they suffered fines of $6 million. As a global company, challenges with compliance exist, like finding ways to follow laws in all countries, since all countries have different laws. Additionally, one violation can impact the entire organization through financial and reputational costs. That is why effective compliance companies need to retain resources. Effective compliance programs have clear communication, prevent violations, and identify violations. Therefore, this case was evaluating the strengths and weaknesses of these three areas. The strengths for clear compliance communication. AB InBev made communication of policies accessible and easy to read with the mobile application and website that they created. The mobile application, called Brewing Right, improves the efficiency by allowing information to be easily viewable on mobile devices. It was successful and had more than 3,000 downloads in 2017. The Compliance Channel website lets employees ask questions and get replies from a back office team in Brazil. For prevention of violations, AB InBev enhanced its code of conduct policies. Employees who were at a certain level of leadership were told to review the code each year and take a test involving hypothetical scenarios for certification. The vendor due diligence background check helped prevent bribery that occurred in the past by signing a contract agreement as well. The anti-corruption policy provided specific advice for how long employees should deal with gifts, travel, and third-party vendors, which is in the past were gray areas. There were also frequent meetings by the Global Compliance Committee, and leaders had to hold themselves to the same standards to keep everyone accountable for the compliance. The company also used data analytics to identify risky transactions or third parties to help predict where more attention is needed to eliminate future risks. For violation identification, questioning employees about if they know of any of violations that have occurred and allowing them to anonymously report can be effective ways to catch violations. The risk assessment evaluation identified risk and employees acting unethically to attain higher sales. Also, key performance indicators were created and data was integrated in a dashboard that was linked to compensation to track and motivate employees to comply with laws, rules, and regulations. The weaknesses of the criteria are within compliance communication. The Compliance Champions Program is a great way to obtain feedback on compliance gaps. However, by limiting the number of employees who can participate and present, they are not receiving the most amount of possible feedback. For prevention of violations, not all employees review the code of conduct, since just employees at a certain level do so, since it is not required for all. This creates discrepancies in which employees know the code and are trained. If the ones who do not view them act immorally or unwillingly cause violations, they can claim that they are not trained and cause harm to the company. Also, there is a lack of knowledge in data analytics and behavioral science that can be improved to identify risks and improve accuracy through eliminating biases. For violation identification, they need to improve their company's technology to better manage their risk and work to use machine learning and manage risk as up to date as possible, which will increase accuracy and detection speed to risks as well as violations to mitigate their effects. Now I'll be discussing the action plan and short-term recommendations. They must require all employees to view business code of conduct and complete certification annually. All employees, not just the highest level employees, need to be aware of the business code of conduct for compliance and other business policies set out for them. In order to ensure that this happens, it requires the company to hold annual meetings for all members associated with the company, which will encourage employees to discuss goals that need to be met. They also need to welcome all employees to share ideas in compliance championing program. All employees should be invited to participate in the AB InBev's compliance champions program. And currently, only a few employees are able to contribute, which is limiting the ideas that can maximize the company's potential. Some of the long-term goals are: number one, expanding risk scoring to more countries. Risk scoring helps AB InBev identify risky transactions in third parties. They have succeeded in risk scoring for 24 countries, which is great, but they still should keep doing so with the goal and to add into more countries over time. Number two, considering reducing operations in higher risk countries with opposing regulations that have higher costs and benefits. Since there are many risks due to AB InBev's presence in more than 100 countries, following all the regulations is challenging. They should prioritize the regions that have smaller and similar regulations and focus on keeping its operations in country with the lowest risk to eliminate issues. Number three, outsourcing technological development of data systems. Since they are working to innovate and further their use of data and automation, they can outsource the development of this technology to data and tech developers. This allows technology experts to help them accomplish their goals for real-time information using machine learning, while AB InBev can focus on their operations. Thank you.